cornerstone setting a small southern town in Georgia. USA. Present day, Chapter 1. The store on Mulberry Street for over 70 years. Hale's Hardware stood on the corner of Mulberry Street, a stubborn relic of a time the town tried to forget. The store was run by Hale Cartwright, a grizzled man in his late 60s, with a jaw always tight and a look that rarely softened. Especially when certain people walked in, everyone knew Hal had his ways. Old-fashioned, some called him. Others used harsher words. But the black residents of Harrowsville simply called him a reminder. A reminder of who was welcome and who wasn't so when Dr. Lena Walker, a 34-year-old black woman in a sharp navy blue suit and heels that clicked with purpose, walked through the front door of Hal's. Every eye in the store lifted. She didn't come for nails or hammers. She came with history, a briefcase, and a fire in her chest that had burned since childhood. Chapter 2. The last straw. Lena grew up in Harrowsville. Her mother, Marcia, cleaned houses. Her father, a mechanic, died when Lena was 12. But he taught her three things before he passed: to fix what's broken, to never back down, and to know what you own. As a child, Lena had been followed, watched, even accused of stealing when she and her friends came into Hall's store to buy school supplies. As a teenager, she watched her little brother be shoved out of the store just in case he was thinking of trouble. Years passed. Lena left for Howard University, then Columbia Law. She returned to Harrowsville not because she had to, but because she chose to. She saw how the town was changing, trying to bloom. But Hale's Hardware sat like a weed, growing bitterer by the year. The final straw came when Lena's teenage niece, Zora, came home in tears last month, accused of lurking and nearly arrested after trying to buy a paintbrush for a school project. Lena knew what had to be done. Chapter 3. The deed. That morning, Lena stopped by the town courthouse. She smiled at the receptionist, handed over a file, and waited. When she received the sealed envelope with the property deed, her fingers trembled. She walked straight to Mulberry Street inside Hal's. It was quiet except for the clicking of her heels. A few customers, mostly older white men, and one young couple watched warily. As she approached the counter where Hal stood, he looked up. "Can I help you with something?" Lena placed the manila envelope on the counter. "Actually, you can," Hal scoffed. "We don't do government work here." "I'm not here on government business," Lena said, her voice calm. "I'm here as the new owner of this property." The store fell silent. Hal blinked. "What did you just say?" "I own this building now," Lena said, opening the envelope and sliding the official deed toward him. "Purchased it 2 weeks ago. From your cousin Roy, who held the controlling interest in the property trust." Hal's face turned red. "That's impossible. It's legal and final. I'm giving you 30 days to vacate. Or sooner, depending on your behavior." The murmurs in the store turned to gasps. A young black man clapped once. A white woman by the paint aisle raised her phone and started recording. Someone shouted, "Tell him, girl," but Lena wasn't done. She stepped back and looked Hal in the eye. "For decades, you've humiliated and harassed people who didn't look like you. That ends now. This store, my store, will be renovated and reopened as the Cornerstone Co-op, a place that welcomes everyone, local artisans, craftsmen, and youth programs will run from these walls. Not hate, not fear, not you." A long beat passed, then a clap, then another. The store erupted in applause. Cheers echoed through the hardware aisles. A tear slipped down the face of Mr. Davis, a retired teacher who had been refused service here 30 years ago. Even the teenage cashier, who had always looked too scared to speak up, cracked a grin. Hall stood speechless, powerless. Chapter 4. Building something better. Over the next few months, Lena oversaw the transformation of the store. The faded Hall's Hardware sign was taken down and replaced with a vibrant mural painted by local students, showing Hands' black, white, brown building something together inside shelves were stocked with tools. Yes, but also books, crafts, and local goods. A reading corner for kids. A job board. A mentorship desk. Every item was priced fairly, and no one was followed, accused, or ignored people from towns nearby. Came to see it the hardware store turned community beacon hall? He left town quietly. Rumors say he moved in with a distant niece upstate. No one missed him much, but Lena Walker, lawyer activist, and now entrepreneur, became a symbol not just of resistance, but rebirth. And on the first day of the Cope's opening, she held up the old deed and smiled. This paper was once power used to exclude, today its power reclaimed. Let this be the cornerstone of something new. The crowd cheered again. The end.